All right, we'll call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes.
Move. Second.
Motion second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on claims in the amount of $376,216.10.
Move to. Second.
You already said the amount, so.
Oh, okay. I said,
You've-
now you're looking at it
She
like
moved,
first, second,
I
last once,
seconded
or, okay. It's got a motion second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on approving the operator license application submitted by Maxwell Dotseth and Jessica Sveen.
For the period of August 6, 2019 to June 30th, 2021, contingent upon successful completion of a background check and payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city.
Move to approve.
Motion second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on approving the amusement device license application submitted by Gary Anderson, Twin Cities.
For the period of August 5th, 2019 to June 30th, 2020, contingent upon payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city and completion of the background check.
Move to approve.
Motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on approving funds in the amount of $14,953.54 from the 2019 Sidewalk Capital Improvement Fund for installation of steps for access to Prospect Park. Mike.
Good evening. Micah Mraz, Director of Public Works. Before you tonight to request the stated amount for a project that's kind of been a couple years in the making. Used to be an old set of steel stairs off of 3rd Street Hill leading up into Prospect Park. They were deemed to be unsafe and by David Gray, the building inspector, so city staff has since removed those stairs. It's a vital connection between downtown and Prospect Park, especially with the vista, so on and so forth. And we want to encourage people to walk up there and to access the park from downtown. And so came up with a different, what do you want to say, staircase in a different location to ease the cost because it was originally estimated at over $100,000. We moved the stairs further kind of up the hill to the south and got a quote for some concrete steps kind of right behind the well lift station there, and a total amount of $14,953.54 from Willow River Landscape Company. I'm looking for approval to utilize 2019 sidewalk capital improvement funds. We have approximately $35,000 remaining in that fund, so looking to use some monies for this project.
Mike, where's the big push coming for this, and why are we pushing it up north? We've had issues with pedestrians walking up and back and forth. It's not safe, and you're pushing it further around the blind spot.
Well, we did go out as Public Works Committee. We did go up there and look at it. We would put up pedestrian crossing ahead signage. We paint a crosswalk. And,
Well, that sounds
yeah.
good and everything, but in reality, they're not going to do it. Somebody's going to come around. Somebody's going to get hurt. I don't know why we're crossing the street so far up to the blind spot.
I mean, to be honest, it was my idea because the trail, there's a natural trail along that bluff line there that is kind of in my estimation, a no-brainer to connect to. There's already, like I said, a trail there, and we're saving, almost $85,000 by moving it up the street. If we keep it where it's at, it's going to go into capital in 2021, and we'll have to designate over $100,000 to put it where it's currently at. So, I mean, it makes no difference to me. It was just a way to think outside the box and come up with a more cost-effective
No, and I can appreciate
Yep.
that, but I'm one who uses that darn near every day, and I've seen a lot of things. There's been quite a few accidents around that corner as far as drunk drivers, blah, blah, blah. I'm just not comfortable. I don't think I'm not going to, I'll support it, but I don't agree with it, and I would caution everybody involved with this to take a harder look at it.
Okay.
Kind of agree with you. Would it make sense to bring this to public safety as a discussion point?
Couldn't
Yeah.
hurt.
So I moved it that we take a look at it from public safety. Public Safety Committee takes it up.
That's fine.
I'll second that.
The motion is second to move this to Public Safety Committee for hearing. Further discussion?
What's the height of the stairs and versus the height of the original stairs?
Right, or it's 12 feet. in height where the proposed location is. The old location was, I mean, I didn't measure it out, but it's probably between 20 and 25 feet.
Okay, so double.
Yeah, nearly.
Further discussion?
Would this be handicap accessible?
Nope.
Does it have to be handicap accessible?
No, I'm just with the discussion.
No, because there's other, I mean, if you go to like county parks, state parks, there are, you know, the park is still handicap accessible from an alternate
Okay.
route. So we can, that's a way to delineate whether or not it has to be or not.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on approving the reallocation of funds from the 2019 Street Maintenance Capital Improvement Fund in the amount of $15,000 for the purchase of spray patch materials.
So we budgeted $30,000 for bituminous mixes, which is for hot mix asphalt, cold patching material. Then it also pays for our dresser trap rock and emulsion oil that we use in our spray patch machine. We've ate into $28,000 of that budget. Just because of the condition of the roads coming out of the winter. Our guys have been hard at it, you know, fixing all the potholes and so on and so forth. So if we want to continue to do spray patching into the fall, which I highly recommend, I'm looking to just reallocate monies out of the 2019 street maintenance budget in the amount of $15,000 to continue using the spray patching machine. You know, typically you would hire a company to come and do your spray patching. We have the benefit of having the machine itself. So it's, you know, kind of a wash in my opinion. You know, whether you would hire a private firm or we do it in-house, it's basically paying the same amount. It's just looking for some reallocation to purchase more materials.
I'll move to approve.
Second?
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Discussion possible action on approving the use of funds from the 2019 Street Maintenance Capital Improvement Fund in the amount of $11,900 for the letter of engagement with Bolton and Mink for the development of plans and specifications to reconstruct Walnut Street from First Street to the bridge.
So this is a project, because we got, you know, such good numbers on our street maintenance, 2019 street maintenance, crack filling and GSB application. You know, the engineer's estimate was about $180,000. We got a bid for $103,000, which freed up some monies for us to do some other projects, and we are going to be doing some other smaller projects throughout town. But one that I've noticed and I've received comments on is that stretch from the arch to the bridge, being a focal point of the city, looking to approve the LOE for Bolton and Ming to do a design and prepare the kind of bids and specifications for a project to replace that stretch of road this fall yet.
We able to use TIF money for that? Mike? We use TIF money for that? Or is it just a small amount?
It's like when? I mean, when do you want to do the project, Mike?
I'd like to squeeze it in this fall yet,
Oh,
after Labor Day.
Yeah.
What material are you looking at doing? Is it asphalt? Is it concrete? Is it pavers?
We would do concrete, and then we would look at doing some stamped concrete on the edges, and then maybe a couple stamped, you know, concrete to kind of delineate the length of that road and dress it up a little bit, just because it is such a heavily used pedestrian.
William Malms Municipal Parkway?
Wow. Wow.
No comment.
We have a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on approving the purchase of a used pickup truck up to $15,000 with funding from the 2019 Public Works Equipment Capital Improvement Fund.
So this is, you know, two separate uses here that I put in the issue sheet. One during the summer months is an additional pickup for seasonal staff. We've been hiring a couple more seasonal staff to keep up with the weed whipping. And to this point, there's a couple of trucks that the seasonal staff are having to put 3 people in one pickup and do rounds and go out and do weed whipping. They run into problems where one of them has to get pulled off to go clean a restroom or something like that, then, you know, the two of them would get done, the other two would get done, and then they'd kind of have to just sit there, wait for that other person to come back, so on and so forth. So there's, you know, some lost time there in the summer months. And then self-servingly, and on the issue sheet, you know, I've been running around all spring and summer in my personal vehicle to speak to constituents and go out to projects and, you know, basically outside of the summer months when the seasonals would use it, I would use that pickup to go around to all the projects that we have going on throughout the city. So I'm just looking to purchase a used pickup up to $15,000 using some monies that were remaining from the tandem axle truck that we purchased. In the capital improvement plan, we had allotted $240,000 for that unit. Bids came in at $193,000, so we have a balance of about $46,000. I'm looking to use kind of the remaining of that balance to purchase a used pickup for the Public Works Department.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
Motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Discussion possible action on approving an LOE with SEH on 11th Street Bridge expansion study.
Good evening. This is an LOE that we've talked about doing for a while now. It's been discussed multiple times at Plan Commission, and I believe Public Safety too, is to get an idea of what to do and what improvements might be necessary or are necessary for the 11th Street Bridge. What this study would do was develop and evaluate different options that we could proceed with, draft a report with some sketches, most suggested changes to the bridge and intersections, and then to present to the Public Works Committee. So staff's recommending approval. Funding source would be the undesignated capital projects fund.
What do we have in there?
Don't have the exact number right now.
Can you have it for council?
I will,
Just be curious.
What was the question?
How much do we have in the designated? But I'll move we approve. It's a long time coming. We need to address that issue up there.
Second, I agree.
Motion is second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on approving an LOE with SEH on Carmichael Road Concept, the Vine to Cooley, $40,000 request.
These next two items are kind of running in parallel and in kind of parallel process with the proposed development on the docket later tonight with council for the Atwood property. So after the last meeting, staff got some estimates for what it would look like for a safety study for Vine Street, which would include some safety improvements for pedestrians, bicycles, things of that nature, as well as making sure that it is a functional corridor for the people using it to get to school, to work. So with that, again, I'm requesting that this come through the capital projects undesignated fund. Are there any specific questions on this?
You want to merge these two? Doesn't matter. I mean-
Rich, you read 12 rather than 11.
Oh, I read
yeah,
12?
yeah, you read 12 and
You
skipped
jumped ahead.
11.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty much merging them together anyways.
All right.
All right, so you want, I'll merge them together with, on the notes.
Same scope of the project.
Yeah.
Yep. Now the Carmichael one's going to be a little bit more detailed because we actually have
More, yeah.
more data at our disposal.
I'll move we approve out of the undesignated fund.
You
For
taking them both at the same
For
time?
both, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
merged.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. So we're on 13.
Now we're on 13.
Discussion possible action on approving an LOE with ACA on assessment mapping project.
Thank you.
Hello. So this project, the city is a little behind on our current assessment maps by about a year. So we're looking to get those updated through Off Consulting and Associates. They have been doing our updates for the last 10 or more years. So we want to keep using them for that, for those services. But in addition to that, we're also kind of looking to maybe streamline our processes a bit better by working both with them as well as St. Croix County. So the reason why we're doing this is because the county has their own kind of data set compared to ours. And some of their properties aren't exactly aligning with some of ours. They've done like property splits that we don't know about. And so we feel it's pretty important that both systems are aligned and match so that when people ask about property information, we can actually help them with that. So yeah, any questions?
Does that include the big map that was here?
That was the zoning map, I believe.
When was that come?
That's separate.
We can get that. Yeah, because it helps to look sometimes. When you're in the weeds and 3-hour meetings you have. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on renewing the National League of Cities membership.
I don't know if Jenny's in here. So last year, okay. Were you going to speak to it, or?
I think you can have as much information as I do.
So evidently last year, we signed up for membership for a 1-year term of net for the National League of Cities membership. It's $1,500 membership. Per the notes that were left with Devin and the issue sheet, it was only a 1-year agreement by the council. It was put in the budget, so it is budgeted for. If we want to continue it, that is the question, is whether the council wants to continue that membership at $1,500. Or not $1,500.
Well, I haven't seen any benefit from it, just besides junk emails, so I move we discontinue.
We got a motion, is there a second? Does anybody use it at all?
I look through the emails and read them.
Yeah, but have you used it? Have you, the last I talked to Devin, he said nobody had registered with him. Nobody. That was a couple months ago.
I thought I had registered. I haven't.
You know, one of the things that our administrator indicated that I don't know if it was included in the contract, but it was certainly included in the discussion. That he had mentioned a couple different memberships that he wanted. That was not one of them, and that he used and felt comfortable with. So I think
Just talk about it in council?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we
Let's move it to council.
wait until the administrator comes on board? What's the renewal? I mean, it's not.
It expired actually on the 31st.
So, but do we get a discount if we re-up, or is it the same price?
The invoice just says.
So it's already expired.
Yes.
I mean, I would say let's wait until he
Let's
gets
bring
on
it back
board.
to the, yeah,
I'll withdraw the motion, but I'll move to postpone.
second.
Okay, motion second postpone, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on a chosen firm to serve the city's consulting firm for the Comprehensive Plan 2030 update.
Hello again. So the Comprehensive Plan RFP Review Committee met a couple weeks ago to discuss our choice on a consultant to help the city with updating our comprehensive plan for 2030. And we came to the conclusion that we would like to partner up with SEH this year. Budgeted, we're going to be paying for about $96,650 from the Community Development Department. It's been budgeted over the last however many years, so there should be plenty of money set aside for it.
You should never say that.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, 96?
Yeah.
96,650.
Originally, the RFP proposed for $100,000.
I'll move we approve it.
I'll second it.
Motion second to approve, discussion.
Out of curiosity with the committee, was it unanimous? SEH?
It was kind of evenly split at the beginning between a couple of different firms, but after some discussion about public engagement strategies, we came to the conclusion that SEH would be a good fit.
I think the vote ultimately was unanimous.
That's what I was looking for.
We've got a lot of history with the city.
Yeah.
Just curious.
We had some good candidates there, so it was good.
Thank you.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Thanks, Tiffany. Discussion and possible action on the sale of St. Croix EMS vehicles and equipment.
I suppose it's me. The city's procurement policy does address disposition of city assets, fixed assets, and it allows the city, these will be for over $5,000, to do a variety of things, either auction, private sale, look within the city to see if the vehicles or the equipment can be used and so forth. It's ultimately a council decision. The reason why we're bringing it forward is just so you're aware that Lakeview is interested in one of the vehicles and I believe some of the equipment, and I think it was Glenwood City EMS expressed some interest in the equipment. I don't think it was specific. So it's going to be, coming up, and Lakeview would use it. I've talked with their attorney, if they can purchase of a vehicle from the city, would use it for serving the Hudson EMS service area. So that's kind of consistent with the city's policy of looking, it's not within the city because the city is no longer doing it. But the main thing is it's up to the council. It can be done. You need to get fair value for it. You can consider a variety of things like it being used within the city and so forth. So we don't have specific proposals yet from either, and I've asked our operations supervisor to try to contact dealers and so forth to get a estimate on value of the equipment. We do have the appraisal from 2017 that Lakeview did at that time. The vehicles may have changed, but it's going to be happening. And meanwhile, I know Lakeview is also looking at getting prices on the equipment. So it's a council decision, and you can really do what's in the best interest of the city as long as you get value for it. Any questions? Okay.
Are you looking for a motion at all, or?
No, not really, because we don't have anything specific, but I
Or
just wanted,
informational.
actually, Lakeview wanted to know, well, is it something that the city can do? And the answer to that is yes. So I wanted to make sure the council and the finance committee were aware of it.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Items? Future? Comments?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.